There we go. All right, in 3, 2, 1.
You can help counteract communist propaganda with unneeded books now on your bookshelves.
I hate to tell you this, but my vehicle is becoming attracted to your vehicle.
Her name is the Morning Stream, and she dances on the sand.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It is the Morning Stream for Wednesday, December 16th, 2020. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian Ibbett.
Hi, Scott Johnson.
How are you?
How are you? Happy second half of December.
Oh, well, it's fancy meeting you here. Yeah. Also,
how long have you been sitting here?
I don't have. I don't have. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a really whiny thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
My wife's birthday is at the end of November, and I'm better at doing that than I am the Christmas side of things. Meanwhile, she has been doing the 12 days of Christmas since there were only 12 days till Christmas. And every day there's a fancy new thing for me, like a nice little gifty thing.
I love that she does that. Like,
I love it too, but I'm terrible
the
at
Valentine's
reciprocation.
Day Post-it notes.
I'm just bad at reciprocation. I don't know what to do about it.
Sometimes, this is going to sound really cheesy, but sometimes the only reciprocation that you need is showing the appreciation that she did that, which I'm sure you do. In other words, she gets more joy from watching you enjoy her doing that than she would if you were to try and do something back.
I tend to agree that is the way to do it, but I never feel... And she's always like, don't worry about it. I just like doing this. This is so much fun for me. I love doing it. I'm like, yeah, but I feel like what I'm going to do isn't as good. Like she's hearing me get all Seinfeldy about it. And yeah, like I obviously it's hugely appreciated, but I just feel like a schmuck because I'm not good at this stuff. I don't think of this in advance. I'm lousy at like, ooh, what if we did 12 days? You know, like that kind of stuff. I can't do that.
Right. Yes.
That's not in me.
No, that's, I'm sure like I said, I'm sure she's getting a kick out of just your enjoyment of it. By the way, remember back to all this stuff when you receive a Christmas present from me later this week, that as much as I really enjoyed yours, I was struggling to come up with something for you. So I'm hoping it's something you like, but enjoy the fact that I really enjoyed you and Kim's present to me.
Yeah.
And revel in that joy.
Oh, okay. So now see, look how I feel now. I feel great about you loving it. That's all I needed. So anything else is just gravy on the potatoes, right? This is good.
That's right. Exactly. Yes.
You gave me one of my favorite gifts of all time, and I love them. They're those Atari 2600 box art posters.
Oh, yeah.
I love those things. I love them.
That's such a great, yeah.
I show them to every nerd that comes over. They're like, oh, what are these? I'm like, oh, remember these? Okay, cool. Check it out. It's a Pac-Man eating a candy bar or whatever. It's like amazing. So, yeah.
The best thing about the Atari games, the 2600 games, was that beautiful painted artwork on the cover of the box.
Yeah, that stuff is amazing. Truly a moment in time in video games that shall never be forgotten. All right. That's a very deep thing to say before I dive into the next thing, which is so everybody wants to add on to these scams that we all accept as normal, and we got a great one. I'm not sure we accept it as normal yet, but it's a good point. It's from Gregory Gregory Schoenhoff, who says that's a cool name by the way.
Schoenhoff.
He says printer cartridges are the ultimate scam. I don't know about ultimate, but it's up there. You can go buy an inkjet printer for $30 and figure you just saved the world, and then you get home and you use it for a month and you're like, oh, I'm out of fuchsia or whatever the hell colors there are, and then you got to go get another one. You're like, oh, the cartridges themselves are like $45 each, and you need like 5 of them. So yeah, it's a scam. Printers.
Would the I can't remember who does it. Is it Canon or HP that basically you pay you get a free printer.
Yeah.
You pay $10 a month, and they will send you cartridges. Or is it?
Oh, I didn't know this. This is interesting.
There's some weird. This one feels like the scammiest of scammy things. you get the free printer, you pay X amount per month, and as long as you don't print more than a certain number of pages,
Yeah.
they will keep sending you cartridges.
See, that's where they lose me. If you said $10
HP.
a month and we send you cartridges as you need them,
Yeah.
great. Because that'll balance out over time. Like some people are going to barely use it
Right.
and only swap it out because it dried out. Or someone else is going to be printing all day, but in the aggregate, you're going to get, you're going to even out. But if they're getting picky about how many pages you print and tracking that, freaking F right off with these two birds right in your face.
Oh, okay. Here it is. They ended doing it. So I think the way it worked, and I totally did get this wrong. So it was free ink for life. It remotely monitored your printer's ink usage and sent a free cartridge when you were running low, but you could only print 15 pages per month. If you went over 15 pages, HP would charge you $1 for 10 additional pages.
Yeah, forget it.
And then every 5 pages, HP would print an ad on your printer.
Yeah, forget it. I have no interest in your scam. Oh, I guess it's gone now. They're saying in the chat they didn't make any money, so they quit. But I'm sure if someone signed up for that, they get the lifetime thing. That's the guarantee, right? They have to.
Yeah, totally. By the way, can I tell you the coolest thing? So, obviously last week I was fraught with all sorts of network issues and having to put in a new router and change things around.
Yeah.
And one of the things I had to do was redo all of the smart quote unquote devices on my network. So all my Hue lights and the Harmony TV and streaming control and stuff like that.
Sure.
One of the things that it said, hey, I see you have a Canon printer. I think it's a Canon. Yeah. I see you have a Canon printer on your network. Would you like me to add that to your Echo? I'm like, oh, or to your HomeKit? I'm like, no, sure. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. I don't care. Sure. Do it. I don't care.
Whatever, man. I don't know.
Here's the cool thing. If I'm going to mute myself when I say her name.
Oh, okay. I think I know who you're going to say.
I'm going to say, print me a Sudoku.
Oh, this is interesting.
And what's happening here all right. She just said, a Sudoku was sent to the printer.
Is it hold on a second.
Yeah.
Is this a laser or is this an inkjet or what is this?
It's an inkjet.
Okay.
It's an inkjet. It's the inkjet I had to get because I was doing Coverville CD or DVDs.
Yeah.
And I don't need it anymore because I'm not doing those anymore.
But it's just your printer
It needed to be able to take a disc, a printable disc, and do a thing.
That makes sense.
A Sudoku has made it to the printer. Moving trade me. I don't know if that was your intent, but the way that the way that you wrote it, and Lesarge, the way you wrote it, I had to say it like that. Now this works with crosswords as well. I can say, print me a crossword puzzle.
Yeah. And is it like pulling from some database that's like a current, I don't know.
I guess, and you can tell at different difficulty levels too. So I could say, print me a medium level Sudoku, print me a difficult Sudoku.
Interesting.
Fortunately, I had a sheet of scrap paper loaded in there. My God, it's printing lines and numbers, yet it's going to print something on the back. What's going to print on the back? Oh, here we go.
It can print on the back? What magic is it? What dark wizardry is this? Jeez.
This printer does duplexing. So here we go. Here is a medium difficulty Sudoku puzzle that I can just,
That's great. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a waste of paper because I'd much rather do these on my phone.
Right. You're never going to do those on purpose. Right.
Never going to do them on purpose. However, I do like that I can tell her to do a crossword puzzle. I just didn't know how long that was going to take to do.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
But that's really slick. Like now I can just randomly from anywhere in the house say, print me a crossword puzzle, and it'll print a crossword puzzle.
Can you say, print me some goat pornography?
Let's try it.
Okay, let's try it. Give it a shot.
Print me some goat pornography. I don't know how to print that.
She said,
Oh,
like
you'd
she-
love this. You
Yeah.
can do an easy maze, like so you can say, "Print me a maze."
Oh, I love mazes. You know me.
Print me a coloring page with ocean animals.
Oh my lord, is that a thing you
Print
can do?
graph paper. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, if you're
like,
about
when
to
you
do
need
a
a
D&D
piece of
thing,
graph paper.
Sure, you got a D&D campaign to do. You need some hallways and rooms. You need some graph paper. Go.
Yeah.
And
Print
for
me a
ki-
second grade spelling worksheet.
See, this is good. I was just going to say the applications for kids. That's off the
Yeah.
charts. That's very cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right, I'm
We should
sold on.
Yeah,
your
one of
idea.
these days we'll say, "Print me a 6th grade spelling worksheet," and we'll see if you and Brian can spell the words on the 6th grade spelling worksheet.
It's not a bad idea. It's a good alternate game for our Wednesdays or Mondays. Here's the funny thing about printers. I
Yeah.
pretty much just a basic black and white laser guy, and only ever needed it for a very few cases of like, oh, I got to print this thing,
I
sign the
need
contract,
color
send
or
it
whatever.
back.
Yeah.
But it died, and when I was about to get another printer, I went, wait a minute, how often, truly often, do I use this thing? And I did the math in my head, and it was barely ever. Like,
Yeah.
hardly ever used it. It got dusty and horrible, and probably why it broke, because of just lack of use. So I decided to just give it a shot and go without printing any kind of printing here in the studio for as long as I could do it. And I think I'm 3 years now, and I haven't printed a damn thing.
And not needed to print anything.
No,
So-
everything I've had to sign, like all NDAs and contracts and client stuff and all that stuff, they all come to me
do
as a
that in
PDF.
Acrobat. Yeah. Do
Open
on
it
the
up,
phone,
do
on
the
your-
signature thing. It's a piece of cake. And
Use your pencil.
if it is if someone mails me something, I've got apps that let me scan those in and sign them and send them back in their email. Like, we are actually finally at a place, or at least for me in my workflow, where I don't have to do that anymore. It's kind of great. Except once in a while,
Yeah.
Kim will go, I need to do these invitations for these gifts we're doing for the thing. Can you print them? I'm like, no.
No, I can't.
I can't.
Now, with all the eBay stuff you're doing, you don't print labels.
My daughter has a Pitney Bowes SendPro thing, so she's
Okay.
she's got the weigher thing, and she's got the printer and the label printer and all that, and all the rate stuff. So she's currently doing all of my labels for that, plus any other kind of like stuff we ship. They just do it. Now, occasionally Kim will go. She'll be like, "Well, this is just a deck of cards, and we're shipping it as a prize or whatever." She'll just take that to the either USPS or the freaking UPS or whatever, and just do it there with a text of the address, and she'll handwrite it. No big deal. Like one-offs are no big deal.
Sure.
But since
Sure.
all of my store stuff and all of that logistics happens in Virginia with Dave,
Oh,
I don't do any of that here.
that's right. You have a guy for that.
I have
Yeah.
a guy for all my shipping. If I didn't, I would literally
No,
pass out.
when I'm sending a bag of Phoenix Pearl tea to Joe Johnson in Poughkeepsie, I need to print out a damn label.
Yeah, you do. And
I don't have a guy for that.
Yeah, I do like having a guy, but it's also, I mean, the store ships prints every day, pins, prints,
Yes.
and mouse
yeah,
pads, all
totally
that
makes
stuff,
sense.
especially right now for Christmas. So if I didn't have a guy, I might die. I would die
Yeah.
without a guy. Is what I'm saying.
I could get by now that I'm not doing any sort of DVD printing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I could start a business of just duplicating DVDs for seniors, since they're the only ones who have DVD players anymore.
I love
Just
it.
kidding. I know there's gonna be people out there like, I still have a DVD player and I love it.
Yeah, like the Mr. Microphone lady. That's what that sounded like. I got a
love
CD
it.
player and I love it.
And I love it. But yeah, I mean, if I ever had to replace this printer, I'd be replacing it with the cheapest, jankiest, black and white
Yeah,
inkjet. Just give me mailing labels is all I need.
yeah.
I mean, the stuff that I'm doing, refurbishing computers and stuff, I do need to print a sheet that goes with each computer
Yeah.
to say what its specs are and that it passed and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I do need to print. I'm printing probably about 5 or 6 pages a day.
Yeah, I totally get it. If I had one, I would probably use it for a thing or two. Probably just help Kim with the small shipments that we do from here.
Of course. Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it, and especially because I agree with Gregory here that those cartridges are scam no matter what way
It's
they
a
sell them
complete
to
and
you.
total scam. Yeah.
I hate it.
Why do they need to be so damn expensive? What the bigger scam was too was when you could get the ink refill
Mm-hmm.
device
Mm-hmm.
and keep reusing the cartridges because you maybe got 4 sheets
Yep.
after you've refilled your ink cartridge. It was garbage.
Yeah, it was awful. Oh my gosh, I hated
Yeah.
that. You know what else I hated? I hated when, if it sat too long, the toner in the laser printer would settle. And so you were getting weird.
You'd have to take it out and shake it.
Shake it around, and sometimes it'd be like a little gap in there, and it would poof on your shirt. Freaking F that.
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
That was horrible.
It's like,
Hey, you know what I did yesterday real quick?
What'd you do?
I did another Fitness Plus workout, which I was sore from Monday, but for whatever reason, I had to do another one yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to choose, and it's cool. You can say, choose the time you've got, and then choose the type of music you want.
Yeah.
And they've got so many in there that you can probably find the time and the kind of music. So I said, all right, I've got 30 minutes. Let me do a 30-minute ride, high intensity, and throwback hits. Because I figure throwback hits are going to be 80s music. And sure enough, Go-Go's start playing. Hi, I'm Kim. I'm going to be your trainer today. We're doing a high-intensity bike workout in 3 parts. And you know what? We're doing it to the 80s music because I love the 80s. I grew up with that music. And I'm thinking, all right, I can relate to this. Thank you, Kim, with a Y.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And then she says, you know why I love this music? Because it was all my mom's music growing up. I'm like, okay.
Yep. It used to be. We were kids then, and now we're not.
Now it's your kids, Marty.
Yeah.
Your kids are running the Fitness Plus.
This is the part I can't get my head around, and I'm sure a younger generation could explain this to me why I feel this way. I don't know, but when we were in the 80s, okay, when we were in the mix and teenagers and growing up with the music we loved and everything else, and that was, the greatest decade of all time. Mm-hmm. People who were the old people in our lives grew up in the 50s. Mm-hmm. And so for them, it was like greasers and, freaking Happy Days looking people, like that whole vibe. Lots of Monday, Tuesday, like that kind of music, all beboppy Elvis bullshit, right? At least at the time, I'm saying. I appreciate that stuff now, but at the time, we were like, that stuff's so old. Now, we're no different in the range of time than they were to the 50s that we are from the 80s. Right. So now we're looking back on the 80s, but yet our decade.
And we used to scoff.
Yeah, but our decade hit different. Kids love the 80s and love that music and go back to those styles all the time and talk about it. As opposed to
us thinking, oh, that stuff sounds so old and
yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's just I don't know. It's just strange.
Proves the 80s was the greatest decade.
That was an awesome decade. 90s were all right too, but I love the 80s, man. Mm-hmm. It's great. 70s can kiss my butt. All right, there's your deal there. Oh, I got a special birthday shout out. Before we do that, I'd like to play this right here.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. This came in the form of it.
So many extra syllables in those words.
Yeah, none of them sound good either. Kate sent this in and said, my husband's birthday is happening. Now, there's a song request in here as well. Which we don't have to do today, but
well, yeah, because I've already picked.
Yeah,
because
you've got other stuff. You've got other stuff, but I wanted to make sure we gave him a proper shout out. So Brendan says he's a huge fan of the show. Every year we drive 10 plus hours to the East Coast, and he deliberately stops listening to the morning stream leading up to the trip so he can share them with me on the trip. It's honestly my favorite part of the drive. His birthday is on December 16th. That is today. And I know he'd get a kick out of hearing a birthday song dedication of the morning stream. He is a big band ska lover, so anything in that realm would be awesome. Hey, well, different day, but I wanted to get the shout out there, Kate.
Actually, I could give her something right now. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. There we go. There you go. There's your ska. Exactly. We're done. We're good. No, I'll still play something for him. And
I used to do a good trumpet. I can't do it now. No,
that's good.
I can't. I used to be able to really pound it out.
You do better when you don't have your hands on your face.
You know what? That's good advice generally, Brian. You do better when you don't have your hands on your face.
You'll notice if you look back at those old Police Academy movies, Michael Winslow didn't always have hands on his face when he was doing his.
Yeah, no. Oh, this is Utah connection, by the way.
Utah connection.
Michael Winslow, Utah guy. All right, we're going to call Brian Dunaway. We're going to play a game. You guys know how this works, so get your phone calls in so you can probably win something today. I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
Today's going to be an interesting one because it's not exactly what you think it might be. Brian's been shaking things up.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to find out what that means as soon as Dunaway answers his damn phone.
Answer your damn phone.
Which should be any second now. He's blinking.
Yeah, we had somebody who emailed me requesting that we veto the Christmas Prince.
Yeah.
Because, they didn't want to hear a drug through the mud that he was just basically was going to be expecting.
Oh, is that happening then? Are we not doing it?
No, we're definitely doing it. We're not. You don't get to veto.
Okay.
Only you and I and
okay. We're not going to
Randy
take
and
their
Brian get
advice
to
and veto. All right, it's fine with me. I mean, I'm down for whatever. I've sat through some real garbage with my wife around Christmas, so if this is this can't be that bad. All right, check this out. All right, we are going to play a game today. It is not Battle Royale. It is called What's Your Nerd? And we're joined by our good friend and co-host of various kinds, Mr. Brian Dunaway. Hello, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. And I'm going to tell you, if you're trying to curse us, can't be that bad. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, look, if you have you seen any of these Christmas Prince things? Because you see everything. So.
Oh yeah, well
yeah, that's right. There are sequels, as we found out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't watch that stuff, man.
Okay, not your jam.
Now give me a Little House on the Prairie Christmas special, where somebody goes blind. Sign me up.
Is there? Wait. That's not where her sister went blind, is it? Isn't it a Christmas special?
Of course, it was like, oh look, you got me a present. It's a candle. Blind.
No, really? No.
I know. Remember it being a candle that set the cabin on fire.
You talking about when the baby got burnt, or are you talking about
when Melissa Gilbert lost her eyesight?
Yeah.
When was the time where the younger generation of Gilbert, or not Gilberts, but of the whatever they were called, the adopted kid was all hooked on morphine, and he spent like a whole episode throwing morphine up? Do you remember that?
That was a great episode.
It freaked me out. It scarred me a little bit.
Little House on the Prairie, the next generation.
I don't like watching people puke. And
the most recent episode I saw was where the blind daughter was with her blind husband, and they were traveling somewhere for Lord knows what reason.
Yeah.
And the carriage that was carrying them flipped over, and of course pinned him. And so she had to like feel her way back to town. Pa.
Oh man, that's hard, dude. That's hard.
So
I mean, that was the whole idea.
Oh, by the way, the carriage driver, he did.
Oh yeah, he's not with us now. That carriage driver.
No, he did.
Actually, most of the people on that show are dead. Sarah Gilbert's still around. How's she doing?
So
anyone check on her?
Melissa Gilbert?
That's what I meant. Sarah Gilbert also still around.
And Sarah Gilbert also still alive, too.
Yeah, just not from the same show. All right. Well, we have a listener on the line. We're going to find out what...
Godfrey is still alive.
There you go. Nailed it. This is What's Your Nerd, and we're going to find out what that means in a second. But first, we'll welcome to the show. Hi, who's this? Thanks for holding.
Hey, this is Chad.
Hello, Chad. How's it going, Chad?
Apple. Good. How you doing?
Oh, look, pretty good, I got to say. Doing all right today. Feel pretty great. And I'm glad you're doing good as well, because you're in line to win some prizes, possibly. Brian, do you want to explain to Chad here, how that works?
I will so totally do that. Welcome to What's Your Nerd. I've interviewed a member of the Tadpool and asked them 9 questions in a subject in which they consider themselves nerdy. Scott and Brian are going to take turns predicting whether or not our guest will get those questions correct. If they predict correctly, they receive a point. The first player to 5 points wins the game. Chad, you get to choose which of our 2 hosts will more accurately predict our guest's knowledge in their category. If you're correct, you win our prize package, which includes a copy of Forager and Lethal League Blaze, courtesy of Wesley.
I love Forager, by the way.
Forager's fantastic.
Forager is awesome. Great little indie game.
Nice. You'll also get a copy of Bill Meek's audiobook, all about fan podcasting, because that is fun stuff.
Yeah, it is.
You guys ready to meet today's guest and find out what's their nerd?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Hey, it's JK Grammer, James from the chat room. I am in Houston, Texas, and I'm super, super, super excited.
Well, I'm excited to have you be part of this, James, because this is such a fun new game. Only one person really complained about it.
And that person was wrong, so it's okay.
Exactly, right. That person knows who they are. They're wrong, and they've learned their lesson, hopefully. Right. Are you ready to find out what your category is?
I am ready.
You told me that you're one of your nerds. What's your nerd? So this is one of your nerds. Is the TV show Star Trek, specifically Star Trek: The Next Generation. So I'm going to ask you questions about the two-parter Best of Both Worlds.
Excellent.
Have you watched it recently?
I haven't watched it recently, but man, oh man, it looks great in HD now.
It does. It really does. The remastering thing that they did, totally awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good. Then that kind of gives the guys an idea of your level of confidence in these questions, and they can start guessing how well you're going to do. All right. So we found out that it's J.K. Grammer. Welcome, J.K. Grammer, and the TNG episode, two-parter episode, Best of Both Worlds, is his category. Knowing that, Chad, who do you think between Scott and Brian is going to better predict how well J.K. Grammer does with his questions?
That one's pretty tough. But sorry, Brian, I'm going to have to go with Scott on this one.
Never be sorry.
Always be sorry. All right, no, that's fair.
I will
do.
let you choose who goes first.
Hey, Brian, why don't you go first? You get that
Excellent.
benefit then.
All
Brian
right.
gets to go first.
Brian's
I
first.
will
All right,
go
so-
first.
First thing I asked J.K. Grammer is, this episode marks the first time we hear an often repeated three-word phrase that's associated with the board. What is that
Easy.
three-word phrase?
Of course he gets that.
Yeah.
You think so?
Well,
Would you know it?
Absolutely.
You think-
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see if
Let's
he
hear
gets
how
it.
he did.
Resistance is futile.
Exactly
Oh,
right.
man.
Gotta be it.
Some of these got to be easy, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, he got it. Resistance is futile. Brian has the first point on the
Futile.
board. Futile.
Not futile.
Porsche.
Futile.
Porsche.
Next thing we asked him, this goes to you, Scott. Who is the Enterprise's doctor during this two-part episode?
Oh.
Do you know, first of all?
Yes, I do know. I'm just trying to decide if he would know.
Mm-hmm.
In JK, I trust. I'll say yes. He knows.
Okay. All right. Let's hear how he answered.
Oh shoot. Because I want to say it's Crusher, of course, but I think she was off. So, oh man, it's got to be Pulaski. I mean, if the question's there, but oh shoot. I'm gonna say it was Crusher. I'm pretty sure it was still Crusher. It was back to being Crusher.
It was back to being Crusher. Yes,
No,
exactly.
it was?
That was scary.
I had it wrong.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly why I asked it, because I thought, this. Some people might think this was during Pulaski's time, but
I thought
no,
it was. I really
That
thought it
was
was.
a Trixie question.
That is Trixie.
Good job.
Okay, so I made it through a few.
You've made it, and now we're back to a tie game. So this one will go back to Brian Dunaway.
Okay.
I asked J.K. Grammer, what Star Trek writer wrote this two-part episode, along with many other episodes of The Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine?
How's he gonna know that? No, he don't know that.
All right, is that what you're saying? He doesn't know?
That's right.
All right. Let's hear how he did.
Okay, I'm not sure of this one, but I think I know it because he's gone on to write so many other things. I'm pretty sure it was Brandon Braga, right?
It was not. It was Michael Piller.
Damn.
Oh!
Oh, Pillar. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Michael Piller, yeah. I was surprised he didn't guess Ronald D. Moore, because it feels like that's
No.
the easy
That's a good one.
guess on.
He was later, I guess.
He was later, yeah.
And then off to DS9, and then off to a bit of Voyager, and then got the hell out of Star Trek. But yeah. So wait, what does that mean? It means he loses? He's done?
No. Brian predicted that he'd get that wrong.
I did it correctly.
He got it wrong.
Oh.
Brian gets a point.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said he'd get it right. All right. Go ahead. That's fine.
This does go back to you, Scott.
Okay.
I asked James. Picard is given the name Locutus in this episode.
Yeah.
Which language does the name Locutus come from?
Which language?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say he doesn't know that.
Okay.
I don't think he.
Do you know it? Well,
I don't know it either.
it's a real language.
Yeah.
Locutus.
I think he'll know it.
Well, it doesn't matter what you think.
I know it doesn't matter what I think, but I still think it. I can think it if I want to.
Cutis.
All right. So you're saying he doesn't know this?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see how he does.
Let's flip it and say he does know.
Okay, I don't know what it means, but it's got to be Latin, but I'm not sure. But it's got to be Latin, right?
It's absolutely Latin. Yeah, it means the one who speaks.
I thought it meant grasshopper.
There's a Cutis in the house. Quick.
Swat it.
All right, so I'm good. I last minute
good
changed
thing you changed it. Yes, good thing you changed it the last minute. We're back to a tie game, 2-2.
Okay.
That means Brian gets this one.
Okay.
What's the name of the lieutenant commander who joins the Enterprise for this mission? Did JK know what the name of the lieutenant commander that was only part of the Enterprise?
I'm trying to figure out if I can. I'm trying to remember if I can remember it.
I remember it.
And I cannot.
I remember it.
I think he's gonna blank on this one. I think he's gonna. It's just gonna hit him wrong. I think it's gonna blank on him.
All right. Brian says he's gonna get it wrong. Let's hear how he did.
Oh, she's Brian Dennehy's daughter, the actress, and her name is.
It's really good information. That's not what I
Lieutenant.
asked.
Oh yeah. Do I get extra points?
You get no.
Damn. Her name is Lieutenant Commander Shelby.
Very good.
Oh, good job, JK.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
Way to prove me wrong.
Yeah. And for some reason, I would have effed that up. I thought we were talking about that Jellicoe guy, Ronnie Cox character, who came and took over as captain while Borg time. And
actually, Riker took over as captain. He came in as the admiral and was like, Riker, we really want you. We need you as a captain on another ship. How come you keep turning down these offers? Well, because I'd like to stay here on the Enterprise. And then he kind of got forced into being the captain.
And then he threw his foot up on the chair and he was like, let's get it going.
I thought I gotta watch that again. I've got all sorts of stuff.
Mandela effect, I thought it too. And then actually for a bit, I thought that Shelby took over as captain in that episode for.
And when you say Shelby, I think of Geordie's fake girlfriend in the holodeck room thing.
She's from Canada.
His Canadian imaginary Canadian girlfriend.
Yeah. Then the real one shows up and finds out he's been been messing around with her holographic version of her, and she's all pissed. I think that's Shelby, but it's not. Obviously, it's not.
All right. Scores now: Scott 3, Brian 2, which means Brian gets this one.
All right.
I asked James, in which Star Trek: The Next Generation episode do we get some foreshadowing about Best of Both Worlds, with Guinan telling Picard that the Borg, quote, they'll be coming?
And this is a Brian one?
It's a Brian one, yeah.
Okay.
Did James know which episode teased that the Borg will be coming?
I think he's going to know that one. He's going to know that one. He's going to kill it.
Let's see how he does.
Oh, shoot. Okay. I think it has less to do with Guinan in the episode than Q, and I'm pretty sure it was Q Who, wasn't it?
That's exactly right. You're good.
Yes.
Yes. You got it. It was Q Who. Q Who.
Wow. Okay.
Well done. So now we're back to a tie score. Scott and Brian 3 each.
Okay.
This goes back to Scott. I asked James, what's the name of the star system at which the Federation convenes to stop the Borg, only to be decimated before the Enterprise can arrive? Did he know the name of the star system that they the Borg just completely obliterated the Federation at?
Star system.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I'm gonna say no, he didn't know that.
All right, let's hear how he did.
Okay, I'm showing off my nerd probably too much, but I'm pretty sure I know it because that's where Deep Space Nine basically starts with Cisco, and that is Wolf 359.
Well done.
Wow, I forgot about that connection. Oh,
it is indeed Wolf 359, and that gives a point to Brian.
Shit.
But the good news, Scott, you get this question. You get to decide.
All right.
I asked him, what's the name of the first ship in this episode to be destroyed by the Borg as we hear from a distress call? Did he know the name of the first ship that got destroyed by the Borg that is, well, we're under attack?
I just picture Frasier in there for some reason. Let's say
Mr. Starship.
I'm gonna say he knows. I'm gonna say he knows.
Okay. All right. Scott says he's going to know it. Let's hear how he does.
Oh shoot! I should know this one.
Yes,
I should know this one, but I don't know it. I can think of different named ships, and it's an actual named ship. It's not like a class or something like that. It's a
I will
named
tell
ship.
you that it's a ship that's been mentioned, that's appeared on the show or been mentioned in the show before.
Oh, you know what? I just came to my head. I don't know if it's right, but I'm going to say the Sutherland.
Ooh,
That was Data's ship that he piloted in previous episode.
It is not. It is the USS Lalo.
Damn
It
it!
is the USS Lalo. He got it wrong.
Ugh.
That gives Brian 5 points. That's all you need to win.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, means Chad does not win. However, there's one more question, and we'll play this one. And Scott, redeem yourself with one more question here, since it's 5-3.
All right.
In the original screenplay, which would have made this a 3-part episode, what other Enterprise crew member was going to be assimilated by the Borg?
Oh my gosh.
So the original screenplay had this as a 3-part episode, and Picard was going to get assimilated, and then somebody else was going to get assimilated. Who is that other Enterprise crew member?
I'm going to say that's harder to know that than it is the ship name. So I'm going to say he doesn't know.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it had to be somebody that obviously existed. I had never heard this trivia, but I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess Data. That's probably wrong.
That's exactly right.
Oh,
yeah, Data's correct. Yeah.
What?
And basically they took what they didn't use for that 3-part episode and used it for First Contact.
Where he's talking to the Borg Queen and she's being all sexy with him after her shoulders and head are reattached to her weird
Exactly.
spider
And a
body.
retcon, by the way, there was a retcon that the Borg Queen was actually on that cube that decimated the
Oh, I didn't know that.
Federation.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Alice Krieg,
Yes.
incredible actress and an amazing role as
Oh,
Borg
wow.
Queen.
I'm glad. Why didn't I ask that question? Oh, yeah, because it wasn't in Best of Both Worlds.
That's right. It was retconned later. Hey, that's
right.
a bummer because it means no winner on the phone here. But Chad, you still had a nice time, right? We had a good time together, you and I?
I had a blast, yeah.
No,
Hey,
sorry.
Scott, can you make it up to me by saying Wesley and Picard's voice?
Wesley, get off the bridge, you piece of shit. See, I did it. I did it. That's your gift. Well done. Your prize is in your hands. All right. That was really fun. But also, man, that was harder than I thought it would be because it turns out James is both incredibly knowledgeable about the subject matter, but also that makes it hard because then the questions that just seem impossible he got right, and the ones that I thought he would get he got. That's just hard.
And it's funny because if you look back at how he did, he got 7 of 9 correct.
Oh, what? That's pretty hot.
Clever.
That's pretty
He
hot.
was the one who actually pointed that out. Like, oh my God, you did.
Wow.
You got 7 of 9 right. Wow.
Nerds. Nerds. All right. Well, that was fantastic. That means no winner today. That means the prizes carry over, and that's okay because whoever's next will get something else added to that.
That's
Brian
right.
Dunaway, always a pleasure. We did a Boop show yesterday. People should go check it out. We had a great time and talked about some really rad games and just had a really good episode in general. So if you have not heard it, check it out on wherever you get your podcasts, or you can watch the video archive on YouTube or here as the VOD or whatever. And we got Film Sack this weekend. We're watching a Christmas movie, and I'm a little nervous about it. It's called The Christmas Prince. And might be great. I don't know. Christmas Prince. It could be great. It
could be great. It could be.
Could be great.
It's not going to be great.
They're
But it's
reviewed
gonna be
well.
Film
People
Sack.
like them. Like this Rotten Tomatoes is high. It's like 70-something%. It's people seem to.
Nah, what do they know?
They may not know enough. But we'll find out for ourselves this weekend on our final Film Sack, normal Film Sack. But don't worry, we have a little special one for next week when Christmas comes around. So don't worry.
Of the
about
year,
that.
you always wait so long to say of the year.
Of the year. Well, it's not technically our end of the year. 'Cause
Yes. Be sure to tune in for our last Film Sack episode
of 2020. There.
of the year.
There we go. We're ending it now. After 11 years, we're done. Not really. Don't worry. The show continues. All right. Brian Dunaway, have a fantastic day, man. And thanks for being here. Bye now.
Absolutely.
Well, that was weird. for some
By
reason.
the way, I've gotten a couple people who've emailed and said, "Hey, I'd love to be on What's Your Nerd? I'd love to be a guest." Totally cool. Email me. Make sure to include What's Your Nerd in the subject line. you do have to be a patron. It's the one limit we're putting on this is you must be a patron of TMS.
Nice.
Not a Coverville patron, although, hey, if you want to throw money my way, it's a bribe.
Nah, it won't hurt. Go for it.
Doesn't hurt. But no, you have to be a TMS patron, and we'll get you in.
That's great. Go to patreon.com/TMS today. There's time to get in there. You could do it today for $1.
And in your email, tell me the things you're nerdy about, because
right.
The weirder, the better, too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Commercial over.
Do you have a way of checking? If they just say they're a patron, do you have a way of checking against that?
I don't.
Because I can do that if we need to.
Yeah, I would hit you up and say,
right.
is this person, how much has this person paid? Like, did they just join this month?
Well, they joined yesterday and canceled the day after. So weird.
That's right. Exactly.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little news. That's what we're going to do. Bringing you those hard-hitting news stories brought to you by,
hey, Scott, how can people get extra podcast content every day? I mean, is there even a way?
Well, the aforementioned patreon.com/TMS will get you there. That's right. Every day when we start recording the show, we have a bunch of pre-show discussion that just happens every day naturally before we even hit go. And then once we record, we do some stuff on the back end as well. And you're thinking, well, where does all that audio go? Because sometimes that's like 30 minutes of stuff.
It can be, yes, some days.
Yeah. And so you're like, where is all that?
The only way to find out what I'm going to eat for lunch.
Right. Yeah. Right. You don't know what Brian's going to eat. You don't hear how we pick titles. You don't hear these little side stories that don't make it on the main show. Like, there's a lot of stuff there. And it turns out we do keep that, and we give it to patrons. And how it works is every day, if you're a patron at any level, you get a version of the show plus those 2 bookend chunks of content in the episode on the RSS feed on Patreon. So you switch over to that feed and you get that entire thing in one big, complete podcast, whereas everybody else just gets the standard cutoff one. So if you want that extra content and you're one of those people Brian just called out about getting extra podcast content, that's how you do it. $1 a month would get you there. Check it out, patreon.com/TMS. Okay.
And by the way, my email, to email me your what's your nerd is coverville@gmail.com. I should have mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, we should mention that. That's a good mention to make of that mention. Either that or we could make them do it in Patreon. That way we know they are because they're in there.
Yeah. Is there? Oh, that's right. Because or Slack. Do we have a Discord or Slack that's patrons
Yeah, but
only?
it's open. No, we have all that stuff's open.
Okay.
I wonder if I could. So if we think about this, if I put a post for patrons only on the Patreon page, and then in the comments people say they're down and give us their email, we'll have their email anyway. But actually that might be easier. You don't have to vet anybody; it'll just be there. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, the NBA is in the news. There, it's not because basketball. It's for other reasons. Well, I guess it is basketball, but they have suspended random.
It's got to be related to basketball if it's the NBA, whether or not it's.
A good point. There's baskets, there's balls, and now there's marijuana. They have suspended their random pot testing for the 2021 season. 2021 season. The NBA and the National Basketball.
Because we all need that for 2020.
Yeah, don't we? We all do. Yeah, we need the pot. You guys knock it off.
Exactly.
The NBA. Oh, I got to tell you a funny story about pot. Yesterday, Nick came over to get some stuff and drop off the kennel for his dog. Long story, and I'll get into this more in later episodes, but at the end of the month, early part of January, he is moving to Minnesota.
Whoa.
He got a job.
Really?
He got a job offer there from he already works for Red Wing, and in Red Wing, Minnesota, where they're founded, where they're based and founded, they've offered him a job to work there, and I don't know all the details, but he's taking it, and it's a big pay increase, and he's excited, and it's all adventure-y, and he's just excited to do it. And of course, Kim's sad but super supportive, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, have you thought of everything? Like, I'm going through all the dad moments of like, did you pay this? Did you call that? Did you beep? And I got to just stop doing that. But anyway, the point is, he came over yesterday, brought some stuff by, and then we were discussing it, and we're in the room, and I'm like, oh, what does that smell? I smell freaking pot in here. And everyone's like, do you? I go, yeah. And I go, at first we thought it was the dog. So I'm sniffing Boomer going, no, it's not the dog. It's something else. Something smells like freaking pot or cloves or something like a sweet, sickly, smoky something.
Yeah.
And I'm searching all around. We finally narrow it down to Nick's pants. Now, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Because he's.
Oh, sorry, I sat in some pot.
He has. Because my first thing was to go, dude, tell me, what are you doing? And he says, Dad, this wasn't me. And I said, what do you mean it wasn't you? And he goes,
Of course it wasn't.
He goes, I have to do blood tests. I can't. Even if I wanted to, and I don't. But I can't because I have to do blood tests for this job. They won't let me go if I don't pass these blood tests. So why do you think I'd do that? I said, well, then explain your pants. And he says, and I said, you're an adult now, so it's okay to do you be you. I'm not here to judge you or anything, but, why do your pants smell like you just went to either a Grateful Dead concert or that pot was yours, right? He said, well, it's kind of like the concert. My boss has a medical marijuana license, but he also smokes weed that you're not supposed to get. Anyway, to make a long story short, he had this big conversation with this manager guy, not his boss, some manager guy that's not there anymore, but was there and got fired. Anyway, this guy apparently smoking all around Nick, and his pants sucked up the smell. Now, this is what Nick is saying. Now, if Nick goes and gets that test and it fails, well, then I'll know he was lying to me.
Yeah, there's no way. I know the Johnson family. There's no way he's doing it. It sounded like I was being sarcastic when I said, "Of course it wasn't his," but I mean, of course it wasn't his.
Right,
Definitely could have been Nick. Yeah,
it doesn't seem like and he doesn't have a history of lying to my face. But and again, if he did, I'd be like, all right, but yeah, that's kind of irresponsible because now you're going to get a job that requires a clean blood test. So what are you doing? Like, I would be pretty pissed on that level, but, whatever. People do what they got to do. But in his case, he's like, dude, I swear these pants, and he's smelling it and go, oh my gosh, it is bad, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, it is freaking bad. It freaking stinks. But his shirt doesn't smell like it. His hair doesn't smell like it. It's just his pants. And so dug a little deeper. Here's the deal. They have some kind of oil they use for the jeans he likes that keeps them in shape. It's some kind of blackish, I don't know what it is, but before you wash it, you work it with this like oil pants lotion stuff. I don't know what it is. And it has this, it's so when he wears them, it's like it attracts smell particles from whatever. So if he's eating a burrito,
I'm going to go ahead and take back what I said a minute ago. Nick's definitely smoking pot.
Well, that's what he claims. I'm not saying he's not fibbing to me.
Really?
That's what he says. It's like some kind of. He showed me the Amazon listing for it. It's some kind of gene treatment.
I've never heard of that sort of thing. It feels like that's the last thing you want is to have greasy, oily pants. I know you're putting them in the wash, but
it's something to treat them, like so that they last longer or something. He's a weird nerd about this stuff. Like he's always like he's got these fancy boots he gets at Red Wing. He takes them and like does all kinds of weird combinations of polishes and then treatments and then let them sit overnight. And the next day you go and you brush them out and you do all this stuff. Like he's super, super into that stuff.
Is he moving to Minneapolis or St. Paul? Where's the Red Wing?
It's in Red Wing, Minnesota. So
it's a city. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally. I don't know if it's named after them or if they named the company after the city. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know as far as like it's not far from Windy. So
cool.
I guess that means it's near the Twin Cities. So.
That's and it'll be good for him to have some family nearby. So that's going to be good.
Yeah. So anyway, it'll be interesting.
Nice, good for him. That's awesome.
It's exciting. He's pretty stoked to give it a shot.
I'm most surprised of all the kids that I thought would move out of state first. I probably would have guessed Carter or Taylor before I guessed Nick.
I did too.
I probably would have guessed Carter and Taylor before I guessed Nick.
Yeah, and ironically,
which one would move out of state first?
Ironically, it seems like Tay and Dylan are gonna settle down here for a long time. I mean, they got a baby. It's harder to move. Plus, he just took a job here. Like, there's a lot of reasons why he won't. And then Carter probably still will, but she's just graduating this May. So when she's done there, then things open up for her. So I don't know. She was gonna. She still wants to go to like Canada.
She was gonna move to the UK or something, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was gonna apply for some stuff in the UK, in Montreal, up in Canada. She was gonna do. What was the other place? France, Ubisoft France, I think. Places like that. Hello. Hold on a second. A tiny
sounds
boy
like
has
a baby
appeared.
arrived.
Hey, hi.
Toddler. Really.
Hi. Can you see yourself on the camera? You can pull my cable out.
Look at all that hair.
I know. He's got so much hair now. He's like Luke Skywalker.
He looks like a member of One Direction now.
That's right. Do you want to go get some power converters? You want to say something? Say lights. That's his new word. Lights.
Still loves the microphone sponge.
He does like that thing. All right. Oh, he wants to get down there. Hey, you guys
Grandpa, can I play some more Cyberpunk 2077?
Right, see ya. Oh, that's cute. Oh, Carter Taylor made a new business card. I love these. They're square.
Uh-huh.
And they say Taylor Elaine Photography, and on the back, you guys should check her out at TaylorElainePhoto.com. That's her middle name, by the way. Yeah, free advertising. Well done. Didn't have to pay this a dime, although Brian will now demand our comeuppance. Anyway,
that's right.
We'll see how it goes. I'm nervous just because I don't like I like when my kids are around, so I don't love this cross country crap. But whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Whatever.
Hey, it gives you a reason to visit Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Go hang out at the Mall of America for several hours.
Yeah, I'll go see my sister, I guess. Because I don't get to see them very often.
Koenig lives up there, and Green Bay Spidey is not too far away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could have a little mini
no, I
meetup.
think he just likes that part of the country. I know that's Wisconsin people.
He doesn't actually live there. Okay.
Close. But he doesn't actually live there. I guess he just likes.
Well, there you go. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, after this song, we're going to, maybe it was me that was smoking that pot. We're going to talk to Tom Merritt. He'll be here to discuss the tech stories of the day, or at least one or two of them. And after that, we have Recommendals with Nicole, which I'm excited about because I saw a documentary I want to share with everyone. That'll be after this, and Brian will now present it. Brian, what are we doing?
We'll totally do that. One of the things that feels like the 60s had on us that we don't have as much in 2020 are protest songs.
Yeah.
We've got the occasional song that comes out, but I mean, you look back at Bob Dylan's stuff, Joni Mitchell stuff, Joan Baez, a lot of those artists in that day, Richard Thompson, early stuff. And there were a lot of songs talking about what was going on in the world and kind of bitching about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit less of that going on because I guess we have Twitter now.
Mm-hmm.
But Copenhagen-based British indie rock artist, parse that sentence, John Garrison has a great new song that's called "The Revolution Is Just Waiting a Name." Big thanks to to the Syndicate for sending this one over to me. This is great, and it doesn't feel like a folk song. It feels like a modern rock song, and just you listen to the lyrics and it's like, oh, hey, he's talking about 2020.
Mm-hmm.
About time. He's got a brand new album called Extinguisher. Here is John Garrison with "The Revolution Is Just Waiting a Name."
Most desirable are literary classics, new or old, up-to-date American histories and geographies. All books should be in hard bindings and in good condition.
It takes heat to bring out the odor.
You dump the morning into the stream, and there are many flavors that you can get. This is the Morning Stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. We're back. This is funny.
It takes heat to bring out the odor.
It's like his pants. It's like
whoops.
How ironic. We were just talking about that. What? Did you lose me?
You can't hear me, can you?
No,
you can hear me.
I can hear you. Yeah.
I can't hear me.
Oh,
hold on.
Can you hear me?
It's because I switched off the thing.
The thing.
Yeah, I turned off the thing. I need to have a monitor in my ears, but I turned off the thing so I could use Farrago to do the What's Your Nerd, and I decided I didn't want that lag anymore because there's a little bit of lag because I'm using loopback, teeny tiny bit of lag.
Yeah, I get you. I feel you.
Teeny tiny.
I feel you. All right, here's this.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
That man is the one and only Tom Merritt. Joins us on Wednesdays. Talks about tech.
Well, hey there, folks.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello. Hi. What brings you to our shores?
The solar winds have brought me.
That's fantastic. That sounds like a book you might write. The Solar Winds by Tom Merritt.
No, have you all heard about the big solar wind attack?
No. What?
Okay.
Tell me more. What's happening?
So SolarWind is a company that, unless you work in an industry that needs their network monitoring and network management stuff, you don't know anything about them. But within the industry, they're huge because everyone uses it. SolarWind is used for network management, for monitoring your network and letting you know if something goes down, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Because of that, it needs a lot of access to your network, which means it needs to be secure, which means when a nation state injects malware into an update between March and May of this year, it can cause quite a bit of havoc. And that's what we learned happened earlier this week. The Orion platform from SolarWinds had malware injected into it. About 18,000 people downloaded the updates that had the malware. Fewer than that were actually attacked, but the attacks were targeted at government agencies and corporations worldwide, including big names like the Department of Treasury, the Department of Commerce, the Department of Defense in the United States. And it's what we know for sure right now is that the intruders were able to get in and read email, have access to email. So access to, the conversations between people within those corporations and government agencies.
Okay, that's wow. I haven't heard all. I guess I haven't read that hard on it, but I'd heard about the hacks, and I immediately went, "Oh, those Russians are at it again," or whatever.
Well, and here's the thing, and I try to be very careful about this. Yes, some people are saying off the record that they believe it was the Russian hacker group APT. They think that's Kremlin backed. There's a lot of, we think it's this, who we think is backed, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Some researchers are coming out and saying like, yeah, this looks like their work, but we don't know for sure. So I always try to be careful, because if you run with a half fact too far, you end up with no fact. So keep in mind that yes, it seems likely, but that's not for sure.
Right. Half's no good anyway. I go to Jimmy John's, I want the whole damn 18 inches. Give me the whole sandwich.
And if you walk out with the wrong half of a full sandwich, you end up with nothing.
See? This is really practical advice for everything.
There's no way any of that won't end up in a Jamie mashup.
No, not at all. I'm sure it won't happen at all. Well, that's interesting. So a deeper look at a thing that a lot of us probably just heard and went up, another one of these, and then moved on with our day. It's good to understand.
But yeah, we had Keith Townsend on Daily Tech News Show Monday talking about what this was and what it meant to the enterprise world. And then yesterday we talked a little bit more about how it may have happened as more details start to leak out. If you're following it, the buzzy headline you'll see today is that one of their update servers was protected with a password. Let me find it. It was the password like SolarWind123.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, Redlings joked about that in the Tadpole, but they were being serious. Really?
Now, here's the thing. Wow. The security researcher who found this, Vinith Kumar, told them about it when he found it. He does not believe this was the way that the malware got into the update, even though it seems obvious, like, well, if they could crack that password, they'd get the update. It sounds like he alerted them and they fixed it before this malware got in there. Yeah. What it is emblematic of is the idea that maybe this company didn't have all its security pieces in place.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay. That's ridiculous. My mom has a better password for stuff that she does.
Yeah. It's SolarWinds123 exclamation
4 1 2 3 4.
You gotta use some capitals, but otherwise pretty close.
Hey, side tip. Don't use exclamation point as your special character. It is the most frequent special character, and most of the brute force attacks out there throw exclamation point in because they figure, hey, there's an off chance that's their special character, so use something else.
Yeah, I've spent, it took a while to do it, but I recommend it very highly. Once you get a password manager you like, go and do big, random, gnarly, hack together numbers that no one's ever going to guess.
Just let it pick,
Yeah, it's a life changer. It took a while, but once you're done, I feel safer every minute I use it.
Maybe they did that and it just happened to randomly pick SolarWinds123.
Oh, man. You never know, man. Yeah. You never know. Hey, what do you make of this? I'm sure it'll come up later, but the news that Facebook's got some full-page newspaper ads where they're just like ripping on iOS for...
Oh, yeah. We'll probably talk about that on today's DTNS.
Yeah.
So the battle that's going on here is Apple wanted in September to change a policy to require users to give permission before you collect data and track you, which to users sounds great. Like, yeah, make them ask. Advertisers saw this as an apocalypse because they make a lot of money off of Apple users, and most people will say no when asked. So they're afraid that this will devastate their market. And of course, Facebook being one of the biggest sellers of advertising across Apple's user base, would get hit quite a bit if people pulled their ads and said, well, this isn't effective, we're not going to do it anymore. So there's a big battle going out where Facebook is saying Apple's trying to prefer, here we go again, Apple trying to prefer their own system because they sell ads inside their stuff, but they want to make it harder for other people to sell ads, which has an element of truth in it. Apple does have a very limited ad selling capacity across its app store, for sure. But it's not nearly as wide and vast as Facebook's, and Facebook collects a lot more information than most people think, even though most people are aware they collect a bunch of information. So this is a battle of two titans trying to get you to join up on their side to help them make more money.
Well, so I think it's a bold move to maybe this is your only move as Facebook, but it's a pretty bold move to say, hey, you should be mad at iOS because now they're not going to let us take all your data anymore. Like, that seems like a really
well, but that's not their argument. You created an argument that sounds dumb. What Facebook's argument is you shouldn't let Apple hurt small businesses. Apple wants to stop small businesses from being able to advertise on our network, and it's going to ruin mom and pop shops across America. Now, Scott, why do you hate mom and pop stores? Why do you want them to go out of business in this already horrible COVID-19 era? Scott, why?
Yeah, why? I mean, look, now that you've spun it that way, I get it. I'm totally into it now. Yeah, F those guys. That's lame. I'm not backing every play Apple ever does, but I do like their security stuff. I just do. So
yeah, well, and to be honest, a lot of people are going to look at it the way you first framed it, no matter how Facebook tries to frame it. And so it's a battle for public opinion to try to put pressure on Apple to change their behavior. And Facebook is trying to enlist a lot of actual small businesses on their side to sign up to this and put pressure on Apple as well. And there's just enough hypocrisy on Apple's side to make it stick.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to look at on Daily Tech News Show today is like, what does Apple actually do? And how much benefit will they reap from this? Why don't they apply this to their own advertising, et cetera? And that'll be one of the things we talk about today.
So what it always comes down to with them, it's like they'll make a change on iOS that on the surface says, oh, this is good. It's going to hold accountable these apps that are being a little nefarious or whatever. Like, where's something being pasted from and all that stuff. And then you always have to ask the question after, well, wait, are they doing this to their own stuff? Do they live by the same rules? Like, that always ends up being the conversation.
And
it should be.
I need to confirm this, but what I suspect is going on is when you set up your phone, either with a new operating system, a new phone setup or buying a phone for the first time, you have to give a lot of permissions. Right. They ask you a lot of, can we do this? Can we track this? Can we use this? And that you're probably answering all the questions about advertising and tracking for Apple at that time.
Right.
And that's why they're going to say, well, we don't do it in our own apps because we do it for all of our stuff at the beginning. Why would we do it every single time?
Right.
Which is a better argument if that's true. And I think it is, but I need to confirm that.
Well, we'll learn more today at 2:30 Mountain Time on the Daily Tech News Show. I'm on today and very much looking forward to it. I'm also part of this year's predictions episode, which we won't know the answers to whether we got any of these predictions right until next year. But I was also on the results show for this year. So if you want to hear about me getting 3 for 3,
ooh,
sort of. The third
Wait,
one's
I thought you
a bit
had
of a
2
cheat.
for 3.
I had the third one. You can kind of cheat my
tune in and find out.
Yeah, I can't take full credit on the third one, but this first two.
Who predicted
freaking
Scott
nailed
would
it.
get 2 instead of 3?
Right.
Yeah, it gets so meta real quick. The predictions results show will go into the DTNS feed on December 30th. And the predictions show will go into the DTNS feed December 31st.
Which is excellent news. So check that out today at 2:30 Mountain Time for a regular episode, and we'll talk about all these things and more. Tom Merritt, anything else you want to mention before we go?
I want to say that you should go and read some stories. I got stories. So many stories to tell. And I have a writer Patreon where I release those stories to people as I write them.
Yeah.
So go check them out, patreon.com/acedetect. That's right. You have to figure out how to spell Ace Detect. It's a challenge. And if you do, you can then give me $1.
There you go.
I'll give you some stories.
I'll give you a hint. It's Ace Detect. Figure that out. All right. We'll see you later. Well, Brian.
Yes.
I have a correction I would like to share with the audience. Apparently, his boss was vaping. It was not pot. I'm being corrected because somebody in my family heard me up down here talking. It was not pot.
But it's not Nick correcting
No,
you.
it's not Nick. He's not here.
Okay.
They're saying I got the story wrong because I was distracted by Assassin's Creed Valhalla while we were all sitting there. Now that's possible because I was playing a video game while we were all on the couches talking, and I may have gotten some of this wrong, but apparently he was vaping something that had a sweet taste to it, but was not pot. It was something else. And this is not Nick; it's his boss, and it gets into his pants. And they say they don't know where I got the oil thing from. So I dug deeper and I found out where I got it from. Nick was talking about how to get oil, like car oil, out of your jeans.
Oh, right. There's like
he said it was some like stuff. Yeah, like that. Exactly like that. And you had to go to Amazon to get it. And he showed the kind that he uses. That's what I saw. So I got to stop doing that.
Wow. Good parenting. You sounds like you really pay attention to your kids, Scott.
Really embarrassing. But he has no idea I've screwed this up, and so I don't have to apologize to him. It'll be fine. He'll get to Minnesota, and then I'll say, "Hey, Nick, did you know that I basically made it look like you're a huge pot smoker?" And what can you do from there? He can't do anything. He's in Minnesota.
Nope.
Take that, boy. All right. Nicole, incoming. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, don't play a video game and talk to your family at the same time. You're going to get it wrong. That's how that works.
Possibly both.
Yeah. And the reason I picked I didn't. I'm having a hard time getting. Well, this is a story for a different day, maybe even a different show. But I have a weird relationship with that Cyberpunk game, and I don't know quite how to frame it.
Oh,
but
really?
We'll get to that later. Now this. Spagnolo joins us on Wednesdays to talk about things on streaming services that we like. We call it Recommendals, and we're always glad to have her here. Nicole, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are
the
you?
ring light.
Yeah.
I forgot about it.
Are you you're a big Christmas prepper, like make a bunch of rad food?
Oh, well, I'm not doing
Christmas preppers. Sounds
preppers.
like this day and age sounds horrible, doesn't it?
Sounds like
I am a prepper.
A real or like a TLC show about
Christmas preppers.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Was it Prep and Landing, which is one of the yep.
Yeah,
yes, I am. I start at like September.
Yeah. And are you feeling good about your
season?
Are you feeling good about all that? Like with 12 days left or whatever, or less than that, you're feeling good?
It's funny. Mark and I were talking about it. It feels like even though we start early, it always feels like it goes by really fast.
Yeah.
But I think that's also 2020 for you. So
yeah, I feel that. Like right now, I was just telling Kim, the only thing that feels like Christmas right now, she's doing this 12 days of Christmas gift thing to me, which I feel guilty about because I'm terrible at reciprocating. But anyway, it's a story for a different part of the podcast earlier today. But anyway, she's really great at all this stuff, and she keeps the festive thing happening. But even with
it's hard.
that,
I'm finding it hard. I don't want to. I'm usually baking. I mean, I really haven't done much, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's just
totally okay.
I made some peanut butter chocolate patties because they're really easy.
Leave 1 dozen on the front step. I'll be by to pick them up in half an hour.
Seriously, you want a great, easy little dessert? Ritz cracker, peanut butter, dipped in chocolate almond bark. You can pick up at Walmart for like $2.
Sounds really
Microwave it for 90 seconds, dip it, done. It's wonderful. And if you put it down on aluminum foil as they dry, it's very satisfying to peel them up.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You never get any tinfoil stuck to the bottom of them, though?
No.
Makes your
not
teeth
at all.
go.
So
Nope.
I have I used to play bass for easy dessert back in the 90s. All right. Let's get going here. So Brian, we always start with you, and you've got a recommendal this week.
Hey, let me clear things
yes.
up, TV Egon.
Oh.
I don't go to Walmart.
No.
I use the app and I just have it delivered.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't
Walmart
tell you.
comes to me.
Yes.
Last time I was in a Walmart was like early 2019. I haven't been there in so long. Forever. And we haven't even done a grocery thing there. We've done a pickup at a Target, Smith's, Harmon's.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, Sprouts. We
I
like
love
Sprouts.
it. Oh, I did a pickup at Home Depot the other day. That was satisfying.
Great timeline of sci-fi. Walmart comes to me. I like that.
Well, I do the Walmart Plus, and I like it. So they partnered with DoorDash to do their delivery system. So
that's cool.
That's cool.
When the lockdown happened, you couldn't get a delivery from anyone. And I think Walmart realized we don't have the infrastructure, so they partnered with DoorDash, and now that's that. And I love it.
Walmart Plus sounds like a shirt size or something, doesn't it? Got to get the Walmart Plus size. It sounds like a shirt.
Walmart Plus.
Walmart Plus.
Yeah. And that's big.
And it's really just Walmart. It's just that they're having somebody else deliver it. It's not like they're offering anything additional. It's Walmart.
Right. It's
well,
Walmart.
And, a lot of people don't like the brand, the store, but I am a big fan of Sam's as well because they have an app that is called Scan and Go. I don't interact with anyone.
Yeah.
And I just scan it and I walk out the door.
That was my pre-2020 Apple Store fun, is that I'd go into the Apple Store, pull out my Apple Store app, boop, pay for it, and never interact with a genius. And I felt like I was robbing the place, right? Because I'm walking out with a mouse. They're not stopping me.
It's really weird.
Did they scan it? Do they? I mean, at least with Sam's Club, they have the receipt and they spot check your order.
No, I asked them about that. I said, because at one point I did need to interact with someone for something. And I said, so what's to stop people from like pulling their phone out going, boop, and then walking out with it? They said, we have people in the back who are, some sales staff in the front, some sales staff in back. They're watching everything and making sure that nobody's doing that. But
we have trained assassins in the back.
That's right, exactly. It's like former casino workers watching the blackjack table for somebody skimming off the top of the deck.
I love the idea of like the future. I want the future to feel like that. But you're right. When I did this once, I felt weird. I just felt.
Well, you have to have the infrastructure where you're checking, because with Sam's Club and I think with the Walmart, I don't go to Walmart, so it's always busy there. So no, but with Sam's, it's never busy at ours. So you just have the little code that comes up, they scan it, and then they proceed to spot check your cart by scanning certain items.
Yeah,
and
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sam's Club saves me money sometimes over something like we like Costco and we have a membership there, but Kim's sister has one. There, and we go there, and sometimes we'll just save money on stuff that normally Costco's more on. It's weird. Sam's is all right. I like it. I like
Sam's totally fine.
Sorry, we totally derailed TV content. Sorry for totally derailing.
That's all right. That's funny because that was actually my recommendal. I didn't have a show or a movie or anything.
Walmart Plus.
Yeah, Walmart Plus was my recommendal. So
when you're looking for a big T-shirt, Walmart Plus. Well, excellent. Let's play a clip from Walmart Plus. Just kidding. From Brian's first recommendal. Do you have any setup for this as to what this might be?
TV show based on a book.
All right, here it is.
Hi, Cleveland Legacy.
Could you put me through to Jonathan Frazier's room, please?
Can you spell that?
Frazier, Fraser.
Yes. Transferring you now.
Last name Crane.
Hello? Who is this?
Who are you?
Excuse me?
Can you put me through to Jonathan Frazier, please?
Hold on. Jonathan?
This is Jonathan.
What?
Jonathan Frazier?
Yes? Who is this?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What is this?
She called and got that same phone number you got with, I enjoy fly fishing in the morning.
Yeah.
It takes heat to bring out the odor.
Yeah, those people.
Yes, some people in the chat room did get it. It is The Undoing. That's Nicole Kidman. You hear they're calling Jonathan Frazier her husband, but that's not her husband that answered.
Isn't it Hugh Grant? Is it not Hugh Grant?
It is Hugh Grant. Yeah, okay. Hugh Grant is basically it's an entire show where people from other countries pretend to be American.
Great. Oh, he's not British in this then.
He actually is British in this. He's the only one who gets to keep his accent. But Noah Jupe plays their son. You know Noah Jupe from he was in that Honey Boy movie. He was in Ford v Ferrari, Quiet Place. He's the son in A Quiet Place. He is so good.
He is good. I really like that kid.
And he's so good that you don't realize he's British, and he covers that accent so amazingly well.
Yeah, he's great.
But this is based on a book called You Should Have Known, which came out in 2014. It is a 6-episode limited series. It's not going to be a continuation of the series, which makes sense because the way it ends is not something you could kind of continue on.
I heard it doesn't end well.
It didn't end the way I expected it to, which is all I'll say. You kind of expect certain tropes to happen in a show like this. Basically, it centers around a murder. You're kind of wondering who done it throughout the whole thing. I did like the ending. I actually thought the ending was really good because I didn't see it coming, because I was expecting one of a dozen different tropes that usually happen with a show like this. You're kind of looking, oh, I bet it was him. I bet it was her. I bet it was this person, or it could have been an accident.
It's all a dream.
It's all a dream. But yeah, I did really like the ending. This thing also has Lily Robb, who you know from American Horror Story. She was great in that Asylum season.
Yeah. Blonde, right?
Blonde woman. Yep. And she's really good.
The Stevie Nicks character in
Yes.
Coven.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Also, Donald Sutherland. He plays Nicole Kidman's dad, and every scene he's in, you want more of him. Like, he is so good. This thing was produced by David E. Kelly, so it's got some good.
Oh yeah,
good
David E.
pedigree.
Kelly, Law and Order, or no, wait.
Law and Order,
Law and Order, right?
30-something.
Big time, old time TV producer guy.
Old time TV producer.
Yeah.
And this is the first ever HBO show that actually gained viewership week to week over the course of the season.
Oh, weird.
And the biggest US show to launch on Sky in the UK, beating the record by Game of Thrones, but whatever. It's really good. And it's you can get through it quickly if you want to just binge the whole thing. 6 episodes, about an hour each. And it's like, I don't want to say anything that might give away what it's about and who the whodunit, the big mystery of the show.
Right. Well, all right. This is on my list.
It introduces this woman, by the way, named, what is her name? This actress, Matilda DeAngelis, who is, despite her name, is actually Italian. And she is fantastic. And I think we're going to see, it's funny for me to say we're going to see a lot more of her coming up, because we see a lot of her in this show.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see her in a lot more things coming up. But
that's
yeah,
great. When you say a lot of her, you mean a lot of her.
We see all of her in this show. Okay. And yes, she does look like a brunette Jennifer Lawrence, 100%.
All right. Well, your fantasies have come true, everyone out there who loves Jennifer Lawrence.
Those of you who've been wanting a brunette Jennifer Lawrence, here's your chance.
For reasons. Okay, well, excellent. I'm going to now play you one that I watched on HBO Max as well. It's a mini-series.
Man, we're all HBO.
Yeah, HBO's all right lately.
I hope it's not mine.
I hope so, too. We'll find out. It's a limited series documentary, and here it is.
Around 1977, members of Heaven's Gate effectively became monks and nuns. They became
But they
were celibates. They were living exclusively for trying to achieve the sort of this entrance to heaven, to the next level. And they were given new names. The system that eventually was used by T and Do was to use a single syllable, effectively a first name, and then a shared last name, which always ended in Odie.
Yeah, that's a weird thing about them. Here's an example of it, by the way.
Hi, Dave Odie. There's Lodi, Alex Odie. There's Vern Odie, Stem Odie, Avon Odie, and Lodi, Des Odie, June Odie, Golden Odie. We call him Tall Odie because he's a little taller than Lagodi.
Anyway. So, it's the Heaven's Gate, the cult of cults.
I started watching this, too, because I'm fascinated with, like, the cults.
Oh, yeah, me too. This kind of stuff is totally bait for me.
So my clip was the actual trailer. Ignore the ABC Mouse link. It's connected.
Oh, I thought you were going to recommend Recommendal ABC Mouse.
No. My daughter's on my Mac laptop, and I guess it's copying from that.
Oh, oops.
onto my other Mac.
That'll happen.
In the trailer to it, it talks about people assume that these are uneducated people. They're dumb people, but they're all very well educated people.
Oh yeah.
So
no, none of them are just like easy marks. They were all and it was all voluntary. Like there's not you can still look at what the leader was doing as over time as sort of a hideous thing, and you could maybe even say, well, this dude's responsible for the murder of all these people, if you want to look at it that way. There's a way to look at it that way. But they were all there on their own accord. They were there for years and years and years on their own accord. And you're right, they came from backgrounds that are not typical for this sort of thing. They weren't Jim Jones victims style marks. And so that made it kind of unique and interesting. Also,
did we say what the documentary was called?
It's called Heaven's Gate, The Cult of Cults. It's a four episode thing that's on HBO Max. It's a Max original. I watched the entire thing. And
so we were alive when this happened.
Yeah.
And it was, I remember when it came out in the news, it was like, what?
It was a big deal. Yeah.
Like it was really, really shocking at the time.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with Heaven's Gate, it's fascinating to watch this documentary because they even say, let's not focus on what happened. Let's look at how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Why did it was brewing for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And
did they explain the tennis shoes?
Yes.
Oh,
they
good.
explained the shoes. They explained the jumpsuits they were in, why they all had short haircuts. Like all that stuff gets talked about.
Okay, good.
Yeah. They actually had two. Were they psychologists or that kind of infiltrated it and did a whole piece in Psychology Today?
Yeah, they get
about
pretty deep into the psychosis that is the kind of brainwashing it is. It's not the same as normal brainwashing, whatever you want to define normal as, but there's some pretty intricate concepts at play here, and they go pretty deep into all of that. And the people that were all in, man. They were ready to roll. They believed this 100%. They were good to rock. But getting all the background on the founder and then the lady that was with him before she died, and how they twisted that death into being a sign instead of proof that this was all hokum because she wasn't supposed to die. Like it is just. It's a master.
That was T. Was that right?
Yeah, that was T. He's Doe. She's T.
So, I thought it was fascinating how they got their names.
Yeah, it was fascinating, but also freaking weird.
Yeah. Well, because you're like, T and Doe.
Yeah, it's from Sound of Music. They love the movie.
Sound of Music. So Doe was he was in music and taught, I think, at a place, and he was really into musicals, and he loved Sound of Music.
He loved female deers.
Who doesn't?
But yeah, there's a really funny part where they're trying to explain how the two of them came up with this thing, and the woman goes, "I think they took acid."
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
it's a really interesting, weird, twisty thing, and also,
have you ever had Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I talked to Tom Merritt last night. We were having a text conversation. He was asking what I was into lately or what I've been watching, and I said I should have talked about it on the show today, but I forgot. But I said, yeah, I just finished that HBO doc about the Heaven's Gate thing, and he goes, oh yeah, we're watching that too. By the way, did you know I went to one of their meetings when I was in Austin? I'm like, really?
What?
He goes, yeah, like in '96 or something. I on a fluke because a friend wanted to go see this thing for real, and he's like, I think that's what he said. Anyway, I should check my text, but he basically ended up in this meeting not because he wanted to be one, because he was like, what are they even doing here? And he said it was just like kind of boring. Now it makes me want to go back and look for some of the meeting footage they took where people were walking out of meetings and stuff, and see if I could see Tom.
Tom.
But the suicide was a year later. 97. Yeah, it would have been 97. I remember Carter had just been born when I heard this news. And
weird.
It's just such a weird. Now the thing I liked about this documentary is they talked to a bunch of people who got out I really like Sawyer. I felt like he was just a cuddly, nice guy. I just want to hang out with Sawyer. Anyway, they call him Sawyer, by the way, because he performed a lot of saw work for the group, like cutting trees, doing woodwork and stuff. So they call him
I was hoping
Sawyer.
it's because he kept saying, "Son of a bitch."
Nope, tried to kill a polar bear. None of that worked out. But anyway, they don't go too sensationalistic with it, like a documentary could. They could have really just focused on that thing where they all line up on beds, put the shrouds over them, and kill themselves. They could have really focused in on that, and they didn't. They like you said, they wanted to get to why, not what, and the why was way more interesting to me, and it was really fascinating. Like a fascinating look at the people who were in it, the guy who ran it,
the people that got out. It was really
I
was really impressed with how many people they were able to interview that were part of it, but then for whatever reason left.
Yeah, and some of them are messed up. Like their lives. That guy with the voice thing, when he first started showing up, I went, "Oh, this guy's probably got like ALS or something. That's sad." Or, I didn't know, and they weren't saying, but he was having a really hard time getting words out in a way that they couldn't. They had to do subtitles for him a lot, and I just kept thinking, "Oh, what's his story? What's his story?" And then they finally get around to it. That thing he's got is neurological, and it's about him not being able to assert himself since that experience. So when he's having a hard time getting words out, it's not because there's a disease or abnormality. It's a push and pull thing that he feels all the time with his voice, and he can't control it. That's really interesting. I mean, I feel bad for him, but it's an interesting side effect of this kind of mental workadoo, you know. Like it's a really, if you're into that, I wouldn't call it true crime so much as I would just like a psychological study. They talked to a lot of the kids of the people that were the most devout.
The kids' stories were, oh my God, like the 10-year-old girl.
Oh yeah, right.
Both of her parents were like, "See ya."
Yep.
That's the hardest part, is when the kids get pulled into this. And
well, in this case, they weren't even the kid was just living her life, and they took off. They just disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, and the premise of this, the premise of everything is to shed your humanness.
Yeah.
So T and Doe, what those psychologists found, they weren't doing anything. Like Jim Jones actively brainwashed.
Yeah.
They just set the stage and planted the information in these people, and they did the rest.
Yeah. And that's why it was hard for them to recruit. And people would get bored and leave these meetings, like the one Tom went to in 96, because it wasn't very compelling. It was just sort of, this is what we think. And they're like, really? That's it?
Did I ever tell you about the time I almost got pulled into a cult?
No.
Wow.
Share this documentary with us on HBO Max. What happened?
It's
a long story.
I'm a little nervous to tell you though.
Well, it's on the air, so if you don't want to, you don't have to.
That's the thing. That's the stuff they plant in your head.
Oh God. Wow.
Yeah.
Weird. Well, you don't have to do it now, but I'd be really curious
so
about it.
It's fitting. So it was when I lived in San Diego.
Yeah.
And my boss back in Virginia had started taking these quote unquote business classes, and she wanted all of her employees to do the business class too.
Yeah.
So I was like, fine, I'll do it.
This isn't that Nexium thing, is it? The Nexium people? It's not.
No.
Okay. All right. All right. No, that's another recent thing I saw that was really horrifying. But anyway, all right.
I actually am afraid to say the name because they sue like crazy.
You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's not Nexium or whatever that is. It's an offshoot of Scientology though.
Oh.
The guys knew each other. One went to business. The other one did religion.
Oh.
So in the business world, this is supposed to be enlightening. So it was really weird. So you had to go to this I went down to San Diego. It was an industrial area. I'm actually shaking telling you this story.
Wow. If you're uncomfortable, I mean,
no.
All right.
I think think it's important.
I gave her an out, people. You heard that. I gave her an out.
We just this place should always be a safe place no matter who you are. And as long as you know that, you can tell something.
Yeah. But I think it's important to know that this stuff kind of is there and it's just waiting to suck up people. Yeah. So anyway, my boss, I trust her. I thought she's a great boss. I still, I'm friends with her. She went, I guess, to classes in Virginia, and I guess every one of these kind of places have different classes. So anyway, industrial building, you have to bring your own lunch. It's on a Friday. You start at
Bring your own lunch. Okay.
Yeah, because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's no, and you get very small little breaks, but you go from 8 in the morning, sometimes until midnight.
Wow.
You are in a huge room full of chairs.
Yeah.
And somebody's at the top telling you, and you're and I'm like, how is this business? How is this going to do anything for business? I'm thinking this is going to be like Franklin Covey, right?
Yeah, sure. Utah connection. Anyway, keep going.
So after I do get out of this, I start researching it more. And there are some situations where as people are leaving, because the only way you can get into this is if you're referred.
Right.
So my boss referred me.
Yeah.
So if you leave, the first thing they do is call the person that referred you and try to convince you to come back.
Ugh. Oh my
God.
Ugh.
So, and they will remove all empty chairs and you take your breaks. You get about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when you come in, you have to sit next to someone you don't know. Like I can't sit next to the same person that I sat next to when I first came in.
Yeah.
So you're always changing it up. And so they start having these people come up and share very, very personal stories. And you're supposed to think about your life and what are your barriers? And I mean, there was some good stuff in it.
There always
but
is.
there was right. Yeah. And that's where they get you.
Yeah.
And I remember, and then on the first night, we didn't get out of there till midnight. And I had homework that I had to write letters to people that I felt like I did wrong by them and basically apologize to them.
Wow.
And I had to get up. And at this time, you can't go anywhere for food really.
Yeah.
But they're running you down, little sleep, very stressful internal things. And I remember on one of the breaks, and you cannot leave anything in the room. So when you're on break, you take everything you have with you. And I remember sitting in my car talking to Mark going, I don't know what the hell this is, but and he goes, do you trust me? And I said, I do. He goes, leave and come home now.
Yeah, get the hell
out.
Get out.
Because while I was there, he started doing research on it.
Yeah.
And what he found was like, oh my God, get out of there. People leaving their families. It was just like a whole thing.
Wow.
It was.
I'm glad you got out of there. That's fantastic. And
I can't, it was just like, yes, I trust you. Yes, I'm leaving. And so what happened was they did try to contact my boss. Her father had just passed away.
Yeah.
So she wasn't available. And I was like scared. I went through therapy because I felt like the trust with her was broken. And I was really messed up with it for a while. This was probably 2001, 2002 when this happened.
Yeah. That's rough,
so
man. That's rough.
Yeah. It was crazy.
What? Yeah. I'm trying to think if I went to a meeting once where they were trying to get people to, it was like a multi-level marketing thing. And I got fooled into thinking it was something else. And when I showed up I was in my 20s, I don't know where this was, but it was just selling ties.
Yeah.
They wanted us to sell ties, but the way they were acting about these ties had that kind of like Jim Jonesy Kool-Aid-y kind of thing going on. And I'm like, you guys are just talking about ties. What are we even doing here? Well, if you sell 4 ties to your friend and then he sells 4 ties to his friend, before you know it, zibba. And they were just making it sound like ties were life. And I was like, no, in fact, I don't like wearing them at all. Why am I here? And I left. It wasn't the same as this. What you're talking about is actually freaking scary. This thing I was at was dumb.
Yeah.
But you can feel little pieces of it, right? Like the MLM stuff in general, multi-level marketing stuff, will not, don't ever come to me and go, hey, have you heard of Amway? Don't ever do it. Or or anything. I got this stuff that's this liquid that they tell you will give you the big boner, whatever it is. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with your multi-level marketing ever, 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 which has caused some strife between me and a couple of family members who are super into it. But it's not that different from what you're describing.
I'll share a link. A couple of magazines have done underground reporting of it, and they got sued and all of that. And but Glamour magazine did a report on it. I've found a few, but they really try hard to push that information down. So I'll send it to you. And if you're listening to this going, holy crap, you can message me on Twitter and I'll share it with you.
All right. Yeah, I'd be curious. I just kind of want to look. I just want to Google it and see what's up.
Yeah.
This sort of stuff fascinates me from all sorts of levels. So this must have been an extra interesting road for you to watch this than it would be for a lot of people.
And I think that's probably why I'm so interested in it. Like, I think anybody could be susceptible to that. You think, and that's what the point of that documentary is, you think, oh, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But in the right circumstances, and here's the other thing, have either of you had out-of-body experiences?
Yeah, when I was when I had
I've had it twice.
I don't know if I was I mean, I think I thought I did, but I don't think I did. But I think I thought I did.
Oh, you'll know it when you do.
Okay.
Believe me.
Because I had surgery.
You'll definitely know it.
When I had surgery when I was 16, there was a moment where I thought I could look down on everything and see me laying there. But that could have just been the whack.
So that happened to me when I gave birth to Ava.
Yeah.
Like I had a weird out-of-body experience. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But when I had my herniated disc in my neck and I went to the ER, they gave me ketamine.
Oh, ketamine.
And apparently I am super, super sensitive to ketamine because I went to an alien planet.
Ketamine is whack, dude.
It was
it's like
the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
And I could see someone messing around with ketamine or acid because it totally alters your perception of everything. And I think when you get into like Heaven's Gate and all of that stuff, I mean, it was the 70s. So guess what? Acid's plentiful.
And they were super into, I mean, back then this stuff was popping out every direction and sideways. Like everybody was into like New Age and you know, what's the crystal going to tell you? Like alternatives from their parents' version of what religion was.
You're getting to know me really well, guys.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is great. And here's the thing. This is the funny thing about this. Like almost everything in our lives has some piece of this to it. Like if you're really a devoted Apple fan, there's a reason they call that a cult as a joke sometimes, because people are really devoted to those products. And so that's a form of this. It's not a dangerous, horrific, awful, life-ruining form of this, but it's a little tiny piece of it. If I prefer Coke every time over Pepsi, it's a piece of it, right?
I thought you were talking about the drug.
No, the drink. But you know what I mean? Like there's this.
I'm glad you clarified Pepsi.
Bubby, I prefer Coke over Pepsi.
But people are like, the New Jersey Nets are my team and everyone else sucks. That's a form of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting. There's a giant leap from that to Heaven's Gate, but it's a great way to look at your life and go, all right, well, I've got biases too, and what are they, and where are they misaligned? And I don't want to, I never want to be that guy. I never want to be those poor people who believed this so deeply in their hearts that they went ahead and just killed themselves and left their family in ruins. Like, it's just, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what are you freaking doing? But I say that knowing that it's not overnight, and for a lot of people, it's step by step. And there are people in the parts of their lives that are like, I need something, and they don't know what it is. So then they find a thing that seems to be the template for what they're looking for, and then you're done. Then you're gone, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a thing, Brian. You should watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, totally. Tina's fascinated with this stuff too, so I'm sure we're gonna watch it.
It's good. It reminded me of
good holiday viewing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hey, I will say we did watch. Because Heaven's Gate was my recommendal as well. But last night, we started watching Christmas shows with the kids, and we threw on Mickey's Christmas Carol from Disney Plus.
Oh, I love that.
And wow, does it look good?
Yeah.
They restored it. It looks so good on Disney Plus.
I've heard nothing but good things about that transfer, and it's already that's a great classic thing. It's very good. So
yeah, so I highly recommend, because we would watch it Sunday nights, Wonderful World of Disney.
Oh yeah,
I have strong memories of watching Mickey's Christmas
presented by Mutual of Omaha.
Yeah.
Yes. We watched the Charlie Brown Christmas as well, since Apple TV snagged that one up, and boy, there's so much nostalgia with that thing that I'll never not love it.
Yeah.
But if I were watching it with fresh eyes,
stuff doesn't hold up as well. Yeah.
It does not hold up. It's like, Lucy going through a list of phobias and good grief. And, it's like, oh man, this is definitely of a certain time, but there's so much nostalgia that I'll never not love it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I keep hoping they'll revive that and do new stuff, but I don't know.
No, you don't want that because they've done that and it's horrible.
Oh, is it bad? I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, there's like so like the Great Pumpkin's an older one, but there was another one like some other holiday, Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day, Charlie Brown. And it just has no heart to it. It's just like it's you want the ones that were from that time period. Snoopy Come Home.
Yeah.
I think there was a Thanksgiving, Christmas or something. I don't know.
They did do
like Schroeder's supposed to be this great piano player. He can only play the do 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 do. He's great at that song.
Yep.
But
he does the little
yes. And this one he does play he plays a few different versions of Jingle Bells and he's good.
That's what you want.
We started to watch the Grinch live. You know how NBC does the musicals?
How is that?
Yeah.
So weird. It was a little weird.
Yeah. Is it more based on the film or what?
Ashton Kutcher as the Grinch.
It starts off with the dog telling a story.
Oh God.
Like you do.
I mean, it's the same structure of the story, but they got to put songs in it and they got to do numbers.
Are either Zac Efron or Vanessa Hudgens in this thing?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Then
not
Brian's
that I noticed.
in. He's all in and good now.
It feels like that's who's going to be in all these.
Wow.
But my daughter was like, yeah, I don't want to watch this. This is creepy. So I was like, all right, let's put on Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Well,
but they did
Matthew
it.
Morrison from Glee.
Oh, is he in it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. He plays the Grinch.
You got to get the singing people.
Yeah.
That's what you do. They got to sing and they got to, boogie.
So yeah, it's something on TV, I guess.
It's a thing to watch.
But it's weird that they did it. They did it live, right?
Yeah.
On the 9th.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from True Blood and American Horror Story, Dennis Patrick Seamus O'Hare. I wonder if he's got any Irish in him. Dennis Patrick Seamus O'Hare.
Yeah, I wonder there maybe a little bit, maybe on his mom's side.
He's like in most of the seasons of American Horror Story. He was in True Blood. There's a guy you definitely know. He was in there too, huh?
Is he constantly chasing a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow?
Hey, come here. Do you want to say hi to
kids
to
trying
Brian
to
and
take
Scott?
Lucky Charms?
Here's my kids.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
What's going on? Look at this. It's Kids Day. Van was here. Now we got these two chuckleheads.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, they can't see us, can they?
And
Hi.
Okay.
Hi. Go
say hi?
Go punch your brother.
Well, they're much nicer than Mark, who's been hanging back at his desk this whole time and has not even like stuck his head out to wave.
No, he's not there. He's not there.
Oh, he was there a minute ago.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna go on a walk.
Oh, you want to go on a walk?
Oh, that
Okay,
sounds
let me
good.
get done.
I
Here,
wanna go on a
show him
walk,
your
too.
shirt. Show him your shirt.
Go put on your leash.
Yep.
Okay, I'll be back in a second.
So smiling's my favorite.
Oh,
that's great, buddy.
I'm gonna go on a walk.
Okay, we'll go on a walk. Okay. All right.
They're such video
I should
hands.
probably leave.
Yeah, hey, Nicole's bag, everybody. Follow her on Twitter. She'll post this stuff later. Nicole, have a great
will.
day. Your kids are awesome. Bye.
Bye.
I love her kids. Kids are such hams. You put them in front of a camera, you're just screwed.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Future podcaster, YouTubers there.
That's for sure.
All right.
True.
We have completed our agreement. Hold on. Had to sneeze. Oh my gosh.
Oh, good job on the sneeze button.
Yeah, I hit it right in time. We got a couple of quick things, including some of this. Where is it?
Fan.
Service! This is for Kimberly, who wrote in, says, not my wife, someone else. Good morning, gentlemen. Just want to let you know, your listeners know, that I got a new gaming show on YouTube called Ocean Hippo Gaming.
It's a HIPAA violation.
I read that as OSHA, which is another thing to violate.
OSHA HIPAA Gaming.
Yeah. That's really
Make
funny.
sure your chair is comfortable. You've got adequate lumbar support. You're not hunched over playing.
Yeah, I don't think that bar is approved. You need to get that checked, inspected. Anyway, IEEE approved. Here we go. A YouTube channel called Ocean Hippo Gaming. We started as a way to deal with the downsides of COVID lockdown. It's run by a fellow named Callum. Yeah. From Canada, by way of the UK, the show deals with the game Hustle Castle and has hints for beginners to more advanced players.
I played a lot of Hustle Castle back last year.
You look like a castle hustler to me.
I do. I feel like a castle hustler.
Yeah. Castle Hustler was a great offshoot of the original Hustler magazine I heard about.
It's that game where you've got a side view of a castle and you're adding rooms to it, and it gets attacked by other people. It's kind of like it's the Family Guy looking version of.
I know what this is.
Yeah, now that I described it, it looks like Family Guy. Yeah. Like the character.
Yeah,
like
they'd advertise it on like Instagram and stuff, and you'd see a picture and go, "Well, this freaking Peter Griffin looking guy."
That's right, exactly.
Anyway, so if you want to stop by the channel and check it out, you can watch some videos and give some feedback. That would be great. Just search for Ocean Hippo Gaming on YouTube, and you'll find it.
Yep. Somebody smart is going to grab OSHA HIPAA Gaming too, and on the off chance that people go search for that after this episode.
Exactly. All right, check this out. We got an email from Kevin. He's famous for the bees call in.
Oh, this is Kevin. Okay, that Kevin.
Once in a while, we hear from Kevin, and Kevin says about episode 2031, which was called Beef Stantonople. He says, after 10 years, the fact remains that my favorite content from you guys is stuff like the story of the old lady on eBay that had the broken Skate 3 disc. The morning stream is like audio version of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was laughing so hard at her thinking you were a Walmart clerk, and she just didn't understand how eBay works. She's going to be sitting around this holiday telling her family that I don't like eBay. Merry Christmas, Scott and Brian. So thank you for that, Kevin. We always like hearing from Kevin. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's what he said.
I don't like bees.
That's the guy. That's the guy.
We could almost use his "I" as a buzzer for getting something wrong on the show.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what we can do with that. All right, that's it for the show. Thanks for that email and others. If you guys want to email us, contact us, themorningstream@gmail.com. The website is frogpants.com/TMS, and we will now leave you with some music for this extra long episode. Brian, what are we playing today?
Yeah. Troy Yavang in chat wrote in, said, "Hey, Scott, Brian, and fellow Tadpooligans. The holiday season is upon us, a time when we celebrate friends and family. Also, December 15th is my birthday. Happy birthday yesterday. Sadly, I won't be spending time with my family this year. Can you please play a cover of Maroon 5's Memories for my birthday? To quote the song, toast to the ones here today, toast to the ones that we lost along the way. It'll be toasting. I'll be toasting to my Tadpool family. I wish you health and happiness. Cheers, friends. Yavang."
He, by the way, is 17th tomorrow. So his birthday's tomorrow, right?
No, 15th.
Oh, I thought you said 17th. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Nope.
Would have been yesterday.
Nope. Anyway, yes, this is a cover of that song by Kurt Hugo Schneider and Nico. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. It's Ni/CO. They released this as a single last year. Now, here's what's cool. They're doing a cover of Maroon 5's Memories. Maroon 5's Memories kind of is based on Pachelbel's Canon. The anyway, so there's a little bit of a meta cover to this whole thing. Nice. Here you go. This is Memories by Kurt Hugo Schneider and Nico.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I need more mana.
That's true.
More mana. I need it.
I could use more
Give
mana.
it to me. Pay him his mana.
Give him his mana. All right. While we're being John Malkovich, let's get ready to do titles.
I like that because we're being John Malkovich.